Good evening. Tonight, I'm bringing you an inside edition of English Daily News, in an interview that tackles the issues of nature versus nurture, and whether or not one's environment can affect their character as time goes by. So sit back, relax, and enjoy tonight's interview. I'm Shelley Lance. This is English Daily News. Shelley Lance here with English Daily News. Today I'm bringing you an exclusive interview with none other than creature of Victor Frankenstein. What was it like being brought into this world by Victor Frankenstein, and what were some of your earliest memories being on your own?
My earliest memories were walking up to my papa Victor, and he immediately called me a wretch and he left. And I grew up on my own in the woods, and I remember learning how to cook for myself, learning how fire would work.
Address Victor Frankenstein in your relationship.
Our relationship was complicated, I'd say. I never really knew him, and we were never close. He rejected me when I was first created, and he saw what I looked like, but I always had a longing to want to be brought up by him because I saw him as a father, but he never saw me as a son.
I heard that you were brought into this world in quite a unique way. Would you like to address how you were brought into this world?
So Victor Frankenstein brought me into this world by gathering deceased body parts. He gathered the longest, strongest body parts, assuming that I'd be a superhuman. However, with capabilities above that of human, my look and my figure made it so that the human race rejected me.
So you mentioned that you were made with body parts of deceased peoples. Wouldn't you say that you were doomed from the beginning of your creation, seeing that your nature in its very self was monstrous?
Some people would say that my looks would make me doomed. However, I was benevolent and good, and misery made me a fiend.
You say that you were benevolent and good and you were created without the intent to wreak havoc?
I was created with the intention of bringing Victor Frankenstein glory. I didn't grow up with any values of humans. From Victor, I had to learn it all on my own. His pursuit of knowledge is what made him think that he could defy nature. As Victor created me for his personal glory, and he thought that it would bring him the attention from all around the world. However, when he saw me, he thought I was a wretch, and he decided he wouldn't want to raise me, and I was alone from that point on.
What was it like when your papa abandoned you?
I had no one, and I felt confused because I didn't know anything about this world I was being brought into, and my first memory was of abandonment.
And would you say that this abandonment is what drove you to the brink of your killing?
I wouldn't say that the abandonment is what caused it. Even though I grew up on my own, I was good, and my first instincts were to help people. However, after being abandoned multiple times and being rejected by the villagers, I realized that I couldn't be loved, so I would be feared instead.
Creature, would you like to address the deaths of William Frankenstein, Henry Clerval, Elizabeth Lavenza, and Justine?
Well, Justine, I didn't kill by my hand, but I feel just as remorseful for her as I do for the others. But while observing the DeLacy family, I learned from books that some human nature was violent and cruel. And at first I didn't understand, but I recalled from the books when I planted the lock in Justine's pocket.
You talked to the DeLacy family and what you learned from observing them. How would you say this affected you?
The gentle manners and beauty of the cottagers greatly endeared me, and when they were unhappy, I felt depressed. But when they rejoiced, I sympathized.
So you said earlier that you feel as though your nature in and of itself was benevolent and good. Is there a time that you can recount where you do think that your instinct was good?
Yes, I recall one time in the woods, there was a girl that was drowning, and I rushed from my hiding place and saved her. She was senseless, and I endeavored by every means in my power to restore animation. And while observing the Lacey family, I saw that they were struggling, and I would gather wood and leave it for them. And I afterwards found that these labors performed by an invisible hand greatly astonished them, and once or twice I heard them on these occasions utter the words good spirit or wonderful. Mr. Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein brought me in. That's his name, right?
Yeah,
Dr. Frankenstein, but he's not a doctor?
No.
Wait, then why did he do this? Victor, Doctor.
Victor Doctor.
Doctor.
Victor Frank.
And then he left me because of my ugliness.